Hello and welcome to your Yammer training video. First of all, why do you actually need to be on Yammer? Well, it's going to improve internal communication across the group, cut down on irrelevant emails, get people involved in discussions you might not otherwise have known about, and also all the information you need is going to be on Yammer after the launch. So, how do you accept an invite? Your Yammer Champion will invite you, so all you need to do is click on the link in their email and start setting up your profile by clicking Edit Profile, where you can change your profile photo, job title, join groups, and so on. So on to groups. When we launch, we'll have a group for CHC, Ken Repair Cymru and crew. Please make sure you join the group for your organisation by clicking Join, which will be underneath the group's profile picture. You can also feel free to join the other groups as well, as they're all public and a lot of staff work across the whole group. It's been suggested that having a lot of different groups is like a group of people going into a meeting room and closing the door, which is why we've stuck to these broad groups. You'll only have email notifications for new posts if you choose to, so you can just dip in and out of each group whenever is convenient for you. The All Company group is the default group for all staff, so you'll automatically become a member of that one, and this is where we'll discuss things that are relevant for the whole group. So, send in your first post. Submitting a post is really easy and very similar to Facebook. You simply type your message in the "What are you working on" box at the top of the page, and then click Post. On to tagging the relevant people. It's useful to tag people in your message if you want to alert their attention to it or need them to give feedback, help with an action point, and so on. So to tag, you either need to use the @ key in the body of your message, and a list of possible people will come up, and then you just click on whoever you need. Or alternatively, you can click on the Add People to Notify box just underneath the post, and just click on whoever you need again. Both methods have exactly the same result, so whichever one works best for you. On to hashtags. I know some people are worried about missing out on discussions if Yammer gets too busy, and hashtags are a really good way of avoiding this. Hashtags automatically categorise your posts so that all relevant posts are grouped together in search results. So, for example, if you're discussing welfare reform at any point, you can use the Your Benefits hashtag as well as tagging welfare reform. If you could please search for relevant hashtags before you start a new one, just to make sure we're not having duplicate discussions. This means anyone who needs to find out what's been said about this topic can just search for the hashtag. I'll come on to searching later. So if you make sure you add topics to all your posts by clicking on the Add Topics option, which again is just underneath where you write your post, this will help to tidy up all our conversations. On to adding files and notes. This is another useful function on Yammer. You can add files and notes for information, discussion, and so on. So, for example, if you're arranging an event, you could post the draft agenda on Yammer to gather people's thoughts. To do this, you just click on the little paperclip next to the What You're Working On box, select Upload a file from your computer, and then you just choose whichever file that you want to add. People can then add comments to the file by clicking on the comment button, which will come up just above the file. This won't amend the master file at all, and is just an easy way of gathering lots of different people's comments without worrying about excessive emails and version control. On to searching for topics. Yammer has a fantastic search function, so there's no need to worry about missing out on anything. It does work best if you use hashtags, as I mentioned earlier, but even if you forget, it'll still pick up words from the body of the text in the search function. So, for example, if I type welfare reform into the search box at the top of the page, I can see all of the files, topics, and so on. If I click on See More Search Results, it'll then come up with every single conversation on Yammer which contains welfare reform. So again, that's a really useful way of making sure you don't miss anything. On to email notifications. You can choose to have a lot of different email notifications on Yammer, but it's best to go with whatever suits you. If you want to have an email every time someone posts a new topic on Yammer within your group or groups, you just select the subscribe to this group by email option, which is on the right hand side of each group. However, this can actually lead to more emails than you had before, which defeats the object of trying to cut down on emails. So if you go to the settings button, which you can find by clicking on the three dots at the top right, and then click on settings, and then notifications on the left hand side, you can choose exactly which emails you want to receive. So for example, you might find it useful to receive just a daily digest of what's gone on Yammer if you've been out of the office or haven't had an internet connection. Another way to make sure you don't miss messages is to make sure that your view is set to all rather than top or following. So this is just underneath the what are you working on box. So if you just click on all, this means that all messages across your network will be displayed in your main feed in date order. And that's basically all you need to know about Yammer. The more you use it, the easier it'll become, and you won't remember what life was like without it. If you have any questions, please ask your Yammer Champion.